we have a little bit of a drive, but we will check it out here in a little bit. I gotta fill up here at the gas station. So out here heading back to the spot that we're gonna sit, and we're gonna be sitting on the edge of the bedding area looking down into the bowl. With the gun, it's a pretty good spot. Kind of just peek up over and see. What's up, guys? It is January 10th and we are just ready to head south. We're going to be heading down to a property that I've hunted the last few years, done a lot of work on, and we actually harvested some timber about 4 years ago, 2019. I wanted to take you guys along. It is the last day of muzzleloader season here in Ohio, and so we're going to try and shoot a doe yet, get the numbers down a little bit, but then also show you guys, what a property can look like a few years down into a, whitetail habitat management plan. What a property should look like if your goal is to hold deer throughout the year. And that's a big part of it, is having enough cover that in these winter months you're having enough cover and even like thermal cover to hold the deer in the winter time, that they're bedding on your property, you've got food there, and this property has a lot of deer staying in it. Wanted to share with you guys just kind of what that should look like. Hopefully we can even get a doe while we're at it. So we have a little bit of a drive, but we will check it out here in a little bit. I gotta fill up here at the gas station and then we're gonna head on down. So out here heading back to the spot that we're going to sit, and we're going to be sitting on the edge of the bedding area looking down into the bowl. But right here up top, there's a transition area that heads back to the bedding area. And we got beans behind us and a green field here. This transition area stuff, it's a lot of regen, a lot of young stuff coming up through, and that's going to give a lot of just transition cover for the deer to move out, and they feel a lot more comfortable staging in areas like that. But as we get back to the main bedding area, then I'll show you kind of what an actual good solid bedding area looks like. Okay, we are set up. It's pretty breezy, it's kind of cold. Not sure what to expect. We're set up right on the edge of this bedding area, kind of like I was saying, and from this, we're up here on the edge of a ridge where you can kind of look down in. And I never walk into the center of this, but with the gun, it's a pretty good spot. You can kind of just peek up over and see. And it's sort of hard to tell from even here. It looks like you should be able to see all the deer in here, but in reality, it's a lot thicker than it looks. So when you go in to actually walk through it, shed hunting or something like that, most of it's above your head and it's incredibly thick, and you can't see the deer until they stand up. So makes a good gun spot to kind of, as the deer, get out of their beds, move around and stuff, potentially get a shot at a deer. I killed my biggest buck at this spot last year. And then on the other side of the ridge is also more bedding like this. There's no good way to hunt it, even with the gun, so a little bit limited, but it should be a good evening sit. Kind of excited to see what happens. So with this spot, what we did, like I said, 4 years ago, we did a harvest. We actually did a diameter cut on this particular project. A diameter cut can work pretty well for an area like this if you're attempting to create more bedding and habitat for the deer. I would recommend doing that, across the board, especially if your goal is timber production and long-term value in your timber. But for this particular piece, the main goal and objective was to create bedding and food for the deer. And so this creates a lot of browse and just cover and more tops and stuff for the deer to lay up against. and then open up the canopy a lot more to allow for more sunlight to come in. That way you have a lot more woody browse and just regen coming up through. Get a lot more stem count in a place like this, and it just translates to holding deer better. So I like to do that in pockets that I want the deer to bed in. And for this particular area, it's about a 10-acre pocket, if that, maybe 8 acres, and then another 5 acres on the other side of the hill that we've, did a really hard harvest on, and that creates pretty defined bedding and makes it nice to be able to pattern the deer and knowing what they're doing, where they're bedding at, and then you can hunt them on the edge of that bedding on the way out to food. Can be the way to hunt that. And then we also have back into this, we have a pretty major rut funnel, and so then you'll get deer coming in and out of the bedding area, cruising through the bottoms looking for does. Here we've got a little open pocket here that's pretty flat, and then we got some real thick stuff up along here, and it's out here on a point, and the deer really like to bed out on points like this. And so we might come in here this winter and thicken it up a little bit, but it's pretty good the way it is. I like how it. Here's an example. Down in here, we're off this point, and got a little spot. There's a bed right there. I decided I was going to do a little bit of still hunting and just see what I can kick up. It's last day gun. Honestly, I was getting bored. I'll never do this until the very, very end. I'm more interested in scouting at this point and kind of seeing what the deer are doing inside of the heart of some of this stuff. So, but yeah, that's exactly what you'd expect. Was decent buck was bedded in there. Nothing we'd want to shoot, but it's pretty cool. Ended up being a pretty slow hunt. We did see a few deer, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're interested in more content like this, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. If you want some consulting done on your property, have some trees you want to sell, and get some consultation done, you can check out my website in the description box below. See you guys next time.